Are your current habits taking you on the path to success? Are you the person who you want to be in the next 3 years, 5 years? All this and more we'll be touching on in this video, in which we dive deeper into these questions, answering these questions, and doing that in a way of utilizing the book Atomic Habits, taking chapters 1 through 4, and seeing how we can provide answers to these questions through the book Atomic Habits and through my own experiences. All right, here we go. What matters is whether your habits are putting you on the path toward success. You should be far more concerned with your current trajectory than with your current results. And so, diving here into this, it's saying you should be far more concerned on the path in which you're going, the trajectory. Are you heading toward the moon? Because when you go toward the moon, it's a very dialed and a very specific way of getting to the moon. Any 1% off, 2% off, you're going to go not even hit the moon whatsoever. So it takes precise focus and intention to reach the moon, for example. And so what it's saying here is reflecting on the habits that you have. They're probably producing successes in your life right now. They're also probably producing unsuccesses in your life, if that's a word, unsuccesses. Or unsuccessful situations in your life, maybe possibly, or the results that you don't want to have in your life. You probably have habits that are serving you, for example, and then you have habits that are not serving you, not helping you become who you need to become in the future. Specifically, chapter 1, 1% better every single day. Reflecting, tweaking, making sure your trajectory, your path toward success is happening, is going to happen. Now let's touch on the quote for chapter 2, page 33. The ultimate form of intrinsic motivation is when a habit becomes part of your identity. It's one thing to say I'm the type of person who wants this. It's something very different to say I'm the type of person who is this. And so what that is touching on is, yes, are you becoming the person who you want to become in the next 3 years, 5 years? And what does that mean? You need to know exactly where you want to be in the next 3 years, 5 years. So you need to reflect, you need to journal, you need to think about, you need to discuss with yourself, with others, with your significant other, whoever it may be, with a friend, where are you going to be in the next 3 years, 5 years? And then who do you need to become to achieve that result in the next 3 years, 5 years? Reflecting on, if it's being a video influencer, the most successful video influencers, what habits do they have in their life? So not looking at just any random video influencer, not looking at maybe your neighbor next door who's a video influencer, but not really doing it, not staying consistent, saying that he's doing it, but maybe uploading one video every 6 months. What you want to look at is the person who's uploading a video every single week, or multiple videos every single week, and staying consistent and getting through all those. Or if you want to be an ultra marathon runner, take a look at the person who's properly training and succeeding and going through the proper steps to achieve the success it takes to go through an ultra marathon. What habits do they have in their life? What values do they have in their life? So things to consider in regards to that. And then start implementing and start reflecting on, okay, do I have any of those habits already of the person who I want to become to achieve the results I want to achieve? Maybe you do. Maybe you already have some of those habits in place, which is awesome. It's phenomenal. Good for you. But I'm sure there's habits in there that you need to then incorporate to get you on the path on success toward the destination you want to go to. Which means there's probably habits in your life that are not serving you to go toward that destination, to become the person who you need to become, to achieve that destination. And so, to make room for the new habits that you need to start incorporating, you can take an inventory of the habits that are not serving you to reach that destination, to become that person who you need to become, to achieve that destination, and replace them with the good habits or the new habits that you need to start incorporating and becoming and immersing who you are. I'm a leader, and so a successful leader does A, B, and C. I'm a video influencer, and so a successful video influencer does A, B, and C. So those are things you need to start thinking about. Let's take a look at the quote for chapter 3. Again, Atomic Habits, going through Atomic Habits, one chapter at a time. This is going to be on page 47. When you have your habits dialed in and the basics of life are handled and done, your mind is free to focus on new challenges and master the next set of problems. Building habits in the present allows you to do more of what you want in the future. So basically this is touching on automation. So when habits are already engrooved in your mind, in your brain.
When they're already engrooved in your brain there.
It's automatic. When you're driving a car, I'm sure you've had moments like this where you're driving your car, you're going to a usual destination that you drive maybe 5 days a week, and you're not even thinking, you're probably doing other things, jamming out to your music, whatever it might be, talking to somebody else, and then you're suddenly at your destination, and you're wondering, how did I get here? It's because that same thing, that same action that you do over and over, that same, or in this case, same habit you do over and over and over again is just unconsciously happening because you've done it so many times. And the brain will want to automate as many things as possible because it makes it easier on the brain to automate things because then it won't have to work as hard. So naturally, the brain wants to automate things as much as possible. What does this mean? Use this to your advantage. Know what habits are going to serve you to get to the destination you want to go, and start making sure those very important habits that are going to serve you are automated in your life. And it will take some work, some effort to make sure to create that automation in your mind, in your brain. But it's going to be worth it in the end. Much like how it's always worth it to go out for a run each morning, for example. Each morning you're not going to feel like running. Some mornings maybe you do feel like running, but probably majority of the time you're not going to feel like running. I know that's the case for me. But even when I still go out, even when I don't feel like it, every time I return, I'm glad I went out for that run. Why? Because a high value of mine is health. I know running is going to contribute to health. Also, I'm always grateful that I did it because I feel better, right? Compared to if I didn't go out for a run. Not going to feel as energized for the day, ready to tackle the day, ready to attack the day. I did that one first hard thing in the morning, right? Now that makes everything else that's going to come my way that much easier, right? And chances are, since I go out and run most mornings, and I've been doing it for years now, most likely that's kind of an automation for me. Even though I do have many moments where I don't feel like doing it, it's still pretty much an automation for me. So it makes it that much easier for me to go out run each morning versus making that difficult decision of, I gotta go out and run. Come on. And so it was important that I made sure to make it an automated habit. Because now it's becoming the person who is healthy, for example. I am healthy, and so I do this, and this. But it was all worth it in the end. It's always worth it in the end. To do the hard things that it takes to become the person who reaches the destination where you want to go. It's always worth it. Even when you don't feel like it. And when you've automated it, when your brain locks in and automates those things, it all becomes so much easier. So I encourage you to push through those hard moments, to create those new habits that are going to serve you, to reach the destination you want to go to become the person who you need to become to reach that destination. Because it's all going to be worth it in the end. When you finally reach that finish line, you're going to be telling yourself, I'm glad I did all those things. You'll be connecting the dots looking backwards saying, I'm glad I did this, and this, and this, and this to become who I need to become to reach this destination of where I am right now that I pictured in my mind, that I said I was going to go to, and I followed through, and I did it. And lastly, let's touch on the last chapter we'll cover on in this video, chapter 4 of Atomic Habits, on page 64. We're so used to doing what we've always done that we don't stop to question whether it's the right thing to do at all. Many of our failures in performance are largely attributed to a lack of self-awareness. So let's focus on that last word there, self-awareness. Self-awareness is absolutely critical for building success in life. To get to the destination you want to go to become who you need to become to reach that destination. Self-awareness. You need to be self-aware. You need to reflect on what habits do I have in my life right now that are serving me? What habits do I have in my life that are not serving me? What am I doing right now? Those are the type of questions you need to constantly be thinking. You need to be hyper present. Are you savoring the moment? Are you capitalizing on the moment? Are you enjoying the moment? So self-awareness. Start becoming self-aware of every little thing that you do. Take inventory of every little thing that you do. And yeah, it might feel weird to start documenting all these things if you're not used to it. But eventually you get used to it, it becomes normal. and you start seeing these little changes in your life, to again, you start reflecting back and saying, I'm glad I did this. I'm glad I started becoming more aware of myself. I started taking inventory of the things that I do in my life, because I'm better now 3 weeks later than I was 3 weeks ago. So you got this. I'll see you in the next video.